Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Open that shade part there, just in case we get some dawn before the dawn. All right. We have Tom Sims, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Tom Sims 4, age 4 years. They have a Tom Sims 4-year age and a 6-year age. We bought this in South Texas. I should say I bought it in South Texas. And every time I do a video with this, I say the same thing. I should have bought the 6. Also, I should have bought both, but hold on. The bottle was a little smudged, and I said, "Oh, I'll the next time I see the 6, I'll get it." Well, the next time never happened. I thought I'd see it around, but I haven't. Unfortunately, my fault. Okay, there's a picture of the Tom Sims, the small Tom Sims distillery, which is no longer open. I think it burnt down. Anyway, you're dealing with a lot of very flammable, volatile liquid, and they do have fire sometimes. But it's owned by Heaven Hill now. If you look on the Heaven Hill product specifications, it'll list it. But it says on the bottle, especially selected and bottled by Thomas W. Sims Distillery, Bardstown, Kentucky. Distilled in Kentucky. So they're like Sazerac. They use a lot of alias names. And the U.S. government has a term for it. It's not called an alias name. It's called an assumed name. It's legal. So if you're going to try to sue that you've been tricked, forget it. You're not going to win. Like people try to do that with Blue Moon. I got tricked. I bought Blue Moon. It says the Blue Moon brewing company, and I found out it was Coors. But the court is going to say, well, it's registered as Blue Moon, ownership trademarked as Coors. You know, the trademark is what they'll say is Blue Moon Brewing Company is a trademark of Coors Brewing, and it's on our list of assumed names. I was looking at that government website. It was like all these Sazerac assumed names, and it was like 40 different names. Sazerac, Buffalo Trace, Barton 1792 Distilling, Barton Distilling. What else they had on there? Fleischmann's, Glenmore Distilling. IWA Distillery Company. The Founders Company, County Line Distillers. It goes on and on. So, and anyway, the second part of that, you can't really prove you were damaged. You know, you can't prove a tort. Because it's like, well, I mean, did it make you sick? Well, no. Did you like it? Yeah, it was pretty good. Oh, but you're going to court. Somebody actually tried to do that and say he got tricked, and that it said it was a craft beer, Blue Moon. Well, craft beer is not a legal term. We talked about this before. It's not a legal term. It's a marketing term. So the courts are going to say, well, that doesn't even mean anything, craft beer. It's just like saying handcrafted. Tito's handcrafted vodka. Now, if you went on a tour there, you'd say, well, look at all these machines. Oh, I just see machines making everything. They would say, yeah, it's handcrafted because our hands have to press the buttons on the machines. So you can just give it up. Dickel 12, the competitor, introduced a year later, 1964, age 7 to 9 years. Sour mash Tennessee whiskey, chill filtered, charcoal treated. My friend David came over yesterday. I wanted to watch the Tulane game. I was trying to watch it, but he doesn't like watching sports. He's like, what do you see in that? I was like, I like watching it, and I don't have to explain. But he was saying, you know, Dickel 12, it's not age 12 years. That's just a recipe. I said, I know that. I said, I was reading about it. He said, yeah, he likes it. But anyway, well, as far as appearance, it's a dead even contest because they're both straight up amber. So appearance won't matter. I don't have to close my eyes, thankfully. It's water. Water. Okay, so I don't know who's going to win. I mean, you would hope it would be George Dickel, right? Because it's $23 a bottle, and somebody was telling me in his town it's 30. I say 30? Woof. It's 23 around here. I mean, around that price. Total Wine got it for $22.99, so that's why I'm saying 23. They're a good benchmark to use. Total Wine is helpful because you can look up anything they have on the internet, on their website, and it's pretty accurate. Well, there are some mistakes, like they'll claim, like they'll show a certain liquor and it'll say 1,750 milliliter bottle only, 1.75 liter. And you say, I didn't really want a big bottle like that. But then you go over there to their store and they'll have a 750. But it is pretty accurate now. Hold on, I'm gonna wipe this water up. Next time I go there, I'm gonna try to get one of their eggnogs and maybe go by Trader Joe's and get that winter beer, that new winter ale, and see if they got an eggnog. One for November, one for December. That'll be it. I can only take so much of the eggnog. It's so much sugar in it. You say, and liquor, rum, brandy, whiskey. Yeah, that's right. The sugar is probably more unhealthy than the rum, brandy, and whiskey. But mainly the stores here in this town got the same stuff I've already tried. Benchmark, very good. Pennsylvania Dutch, very good. Evan Williams, very good. And what's one more they've got around here? Well, in the city, they got more into the city. They got the Christian Brothers, which I tried. I wasn't too overjoyed with that peppermint candy cane taste, but it was fine. There's one more I can't think of, but the common ones, they keep having the common ones. Well, why not? Pennsylvania Dutch. It sells like crazy, so I would obviously keep stocking it too. But they have some of these other ones at Total Wine. I don't think they're private labels. They're just oddball brands that nobody else carries. Because I was looking up the trademark and it wasn't trade to them. It was just Sazerac makes it. But maybe it goes to other parts of the country. I'm sure they're fine. All right. Old Tom Sims. How much did that cost? Well, I had it on sale at that liquor store. I can't remember the name of it. It was called Fern. Like Felcher, or it's a chain down there in southern Texas. And it was a really nice store. I mean, it was packed full of beer, wine, and liquor like you couldn't believe. But They had a sale on Tom Sims. It was normally $11.99, so they had it for $9.99. Now the 6-year was $11.99. They weren't discounting that. So let's go with the normal price. So $12 for the whatever this one is, for Tom Sims, and $23 for George Dickel. So but basically twice the price for the Dickel. Is it going to be twice as good? Seems like that wouldn't be the case. Now the George Dickel was $10 more than the Jim Beam repeal batch. $10 more, almost to the dollar, to the penny. But was the George Dickel $10 better than the repeal batch from Jim Beam? My determination was it was $10 better. It was worth the extra $10. You couldn't mistake one for the other. No way. And secondly, it just tasted better to me as a higher quality product. Dickel 12 is part of their lineup. Let's go back and look at their lineup right now. It's 84% corn, it's 8% rye whiskey, and it's 8% single malt whiskey. Very nice, very nice. Red beans and rice, they're very nice. He'd order twice. Now, what about the rest of the Dickel lineup? Let's look. They've got Dickel number 1, corn whiskey, clear, white corn whiskey. What's the difference between corn whiskey and bourbon? Answer, there is none really, except the aging. Corn whiskies age in uncharred oak barrels. That's why it doesn't turn brown, because there's no char. You don't even have to age it. You could just bottle it. You see what I'm saying? If you age it for 2 years, then it's straight whiskey. But I noticed on the Dickel website, it just says George Dickel white corn whiskey. It doesn't say anything about straight corn whiskey, which is a little strange. That's what they're telling you right here. It's the foundation where corn-based whiskeys begin. Yeah. Specifics. 91 proof. All right. 84% corn, 8% rye, 8% malted barley. Okay, unaged. That's why it's totally clear. It's unaged. You say, well, that's grain spirits. That's grain neutral spirits. Right. But they put George Dickel on it, so you'll pay that $20. But you could go and buy diesel and pay $12 or $13 and get unaged corn spirits. But that's 190 proof, baby. At least the Dickel, they got it diluted down to 91 proof. You say, well, I can get my own water and dilute it down. I could just mix it with water. That's right. You could. Many people do with liquor. All right, Dickel 8. Haven't had that one. So that's 2 I haven't had. Dickel Tabasco. I tried that at John and Ille's house. I wasn't too thrilled with it. He liked it a lot. So that's 1 out of 3 I've had. Dickel 12. That's 2 out of 4 I've had. Dickel Rye, that's 3 out of 5 that I've had. Dickel Bottle and Bond, Dickel Barrel Select, haven't had those. And there's one they don't list here, and it's the Cascade Hollow, which they no longer bottle. They didn't say they didn't make it. They said they're not bottling it at this time. So I've had the Rye, the 12, and the Cascade Hollow. Now, could there be other things they make that they don't list? Sure. Look at Jack Daniels. They make the green label. I got a bottle in my cabinet, but it's not listed. If you look under Our Whiskeys, under jackdaniels.com, Our Whiskeys, or they won't list the green label, but it's there. It exists. We know. I got it. Sazerac, same thing. Heaven Hill, same thing. Beam Suntory, they're the most notorious. They have so many brands, and they only list a little tiny amount. At least Diageo's sort of expanding their website to show more and more. But Beam Suntory it's sort of shabby, but really. The best website is Bacardi Limited, because they, it seems like, give a complete list of everything they make. Now, I mean, they don't have a website for everything for some of the products, the mainline one, you know, the famous ones. But at least Bacardi Limited will say, here's the rums we make. And they'll list the prominent ones, of course, Bacardi, Castillo, and then some other oddball things that you might have said, I heard of that stuff. I didn't know they made it. Yeah, and a lot of these big companies make what you call ultra budget brands. Does Dickel make any? I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked. Because think about it. You think every batch of George Dickel is going to come out correctly? It doesn't. Are they going to dump it? You know they're not. They're already selling a bottle of unaged corn liquor. Why you would buy that, I don't know. Which is grain neutral spirits. So all they got to do is take that. Now, if they treat it with the charcoal, then it wouldn't exactly be grain neutral spirits, would it? Be more like a vodka type substance, but still a moonshine type theoretical thing. But heck, take that stuff, blend it with 20% George Dickel that didn't come out right. There you go. You could sell it as a blended whiskey. For instance, Cascade whiskey. That was one they made. That was a bourbon, Tennessee sour mash whiskey that they made until 1964. But the question is, do they still make it? Oh, I got to smell them first. All right. It smells woody, corn, sweet corn, huh? You know, typical over here. It's like an old leather shoe. There's no, just you get a little leather pickup on the nose. There's no char on this. I don't think Tom Sims is using any kind of alligator char. A lot less sweet though. So if you would prefer a more bitter-oriented whiskey, Tom Sims might work. If you want a more sugar-based, sweet, dessert-like thing, maybe you should pick the Dickel. So Aroma, is there much similarity between the two, betwixt the two? No, I'm afraid there isn't. But I'm not afraid. I'm happy because now I can tell them apart without even tasting it. Okay, this is clearly the Tom Sims. How do you describe this aroma? It's almost like a peach. No. Yeah, a peach skin peel smell. Some kind of fruit smell. Hard to describe. There's some kind of old leather pouch. Like an old leather pouch. You say like an old leather mail bag. The Pony Express carried that. It's kind of what it smells like. I wasn't really riding with the Pony Express in 1860 because since I wasn't born, but it smells like something like what you would smell or you expect to smell. Okay, taste. So I think this is the Dickel. I'm almost 100% sure, but let's just be on the safe side. The safety dance. Charred oak. A little bit of that Flintstone vitamin. Hey, look, if you're not into that ultra charred oak, this may not be for you. Now, somebody told me, I noticed you said you didn't really care for the charred oak aspect of bourbon. That's not what really bothers me with bourbon, if you want to be technical. I don't mind charred oak. That's fine. It's the corn. Corn. Let's go eat some corn. Let's go eat some cornflakes. Let's go eat some grits. It just gets a little grating. Like it starts to like just get under your skin. It gets under your thumb. Because it's down to me. So it gets to you. Now the Sims. Heck, they got to be using a very thin amount of char. Could be a level 1. Got level 1, 2, 3, and 4. Level 1 be slightly charred. 2, fairly good char level. 3, a really good char level. 4, a really, really, really good char level that looks like an alligator's back. So this is very light, lightly charred. It doesn't have a plethora of corn flavor. Is it mostly corn? You better believe it is. You think it's what you think it is for $11.99 on sale for $9.99 in my case. Now, when I took a deeper draw on it, it did expose some charred oak, the charred white oak. So that does come into play, but it's on that second draw. Now with the Dickel, it's right out there in front. It's leading the taste. So what's the lead flavor in the Dickel 12? Char, alligator char. You say, why couldn't it be crocodile char? Why can't it be cayman char? I don't know. I'm not a nomenclature thing, a jig. Woo! Hey, y'all want to get together and just chew on charcoal? Because there we go. And away we go with the charcoal. Back to the Sims. Raphael Sims. Tom Sims, off flavors and off aromas. Okay, here's what you do. Here's what we get. There are no off, I'm going to tell you, there are no off flavors nor aromas with this. It's totally clean. It's clean and smooth. Can't say that for every Heaven Hill product. When you get to Heaven Hill blended whiskeys that are only 20% straight bourbon, watch out. Those things can be as off can be. They can have some very questionable flavors, and they can be very unpleasant to consume. But this one is not. I don't know why my friend David didn't like it. I just don't know. I don't know. He gets these things in his mind. He came over yesterday and said, here's a 6-pack of Milwaukee's Best Premium. I said, well, why are you bringing it to me? You bought it. He bought a whole case. They had it for cheap. Well, yeah. He says, you know how you get tired of drinking certain brand of beer? I say, no, I don't. If I buy it, I'm going to drink it. I mean, unless it's rancid or something, which I've never run across that problem. Oh, no, you can have it. I appreciated him doing that, but I'm not really one to do that. If I buy a case, like I bought the case of Schaefer Light, I mean, I'm going to drink it. I'm not going to get tired of drinking it. It tastes pretty good anyway. I'd rather not have light beer, but it's fine. I mean, I'm not going to buy, if I found a case of tall cans, these are talls, 16-ounce pint cans of Milwaukee's Best Premium, which I didn't think we could get anymore. But that store is very secretive. They won't tell you where they got it. They'll just say, well, we got it. I ain't giving them away. I'm going to drink them. Have I given beer away before? Sure. I've given people presents. That's a present. I ain't giving it. Anyway, all right, enough of that. I don't know. So the answer is, short answer long, I don't get tired of drinking certain brands of beer. All right. All I do is finish them off, then I'm on to something else. Yeah, that kind of thing. But there I got 6 tall cans of Milwaukee's Best Premium, and I'm looking at them saying, what am I going to do with these? You say, well, drink them? Yeah, but I mean, could I got to look into what I'm going to do. I might do some taste challenges, but I think I've already taste challenged Milwaukee's Best Premium to the hilt, to the Conrad Hilton, you know, to the hilt. All right. Sims. It's really nice. It's mild, mellow. There's no corny grits, corn bread yellow hominy disgustingness with it. It doesn't get next to you. It's just mild and mellow. Now, if you drank it and claim that it was bland or dull, I wouldn't take issue with that. It is kind of, let's say, simple. You say simple-minded. I didn't say that. I say simple. Drinking it neat, it's just kind of there. It might be better as a mixer. And for $9.99 a bottle, where I found it on sale, well, that's a good mixer price. Well, you can get cheaper. You can get Winn-Dixie straight bourbon whiskey. You can go to Winn-Dixie, and if they have a sale, that's the only time you ever want to buy anything over there. They'll have Winn-Dixie straight bourbon whiskey now, aged 3 years, and a handle. Big. It has a horse on it, like the races. Man, I think it'd be $14.99 sometimes. But and I know who's making it. It says the founder's company. I say, yep, that's Sazerac, and it's probably just ancient age, which is 3-year age. So the Dickel has a richer, more luxurious flavor, a more elegant flavor. And I guess it has a better flavor. Did I pay $23 for the Dickel? No, I got the greatest deal in the world. I got it for $12.50. Somebody said the other day, $12.50? I said, you got it, $12.50. So basically got a half price. Craziness, right? And I'm going to keep buying stuff for these kind of deals because I keep finding these kind of deals. So when I go to Walmart to buy, let's say, what I have to buy over there, I got on my list, coffee and coffee filters. You know I'm going to pass by the liquor section and scout it out. Because you never know what they're going to throw out there for half price. And it ain't going to last. So if you don't catch it when you see it, you know what I'm saying? If you don't catch it, you ain't going to see it. It's going to be going in a day. So I do scout. Now I go to Walmart about 7 in the morning because it's very quiet in there. There's nobody in there. You see too much. You don't want to go at 2 in the afternoon and be a madhouse. You feel like the man in the bridge over River Kwai. You just say madness, madness. That's how you will feel if you went there at 2 in the afternoon. Or you'd be like Charlton Heston in there talking about, it's a madhouse, a madhouse. And the only thing that would make you feel better is that you knew you was in a cage with Nova. But anyway. Oh, Dickel wins, Dickel wins, Dickel wins. Is it $10 better though? And in fact, it's more like $12 more expensive. Is it $11 better? I don't know. That's pushing it kind of far. You know, $11 better. I can't see that really. I might just save the $11 and buy the Tom Sims. If you want to be technical, because Tom Sims is pretty good. I mean, it's actually a pretty. I don't have to make excuses for it. Like, well, you know, it is saving you a lot of money. I don't have to do that. I just say, well, you know, it's pretty good. And it was a real company. It's not some made up name. It was a real company. They had a real distillery. It really burnt down. It really got bought out. It was really never popular. They probably bought it for a really cheap price. You know what I'm saying? Not my problem. Okay. Like it. So thumbs up. If you see Tom Sims, I would say buy it. Now, is the 6-year going to be better? 6-year age? You would assume so. The 4-year-old tastes mighty fine. So we would have to assume that the 6-year-old would be even mighty finer. Dickel, I'm wrapping it up. Dickel is very nice, very nice. Been doing very well in the taste challenges. The most interesting thing about these taste challenges is that it's almost always discernible. You can always tell it apart, except I had one little mishap. But, and I'm getting it on aroma only, just the aroma. And I'm saying, whoop, that's Dickel, or whoop, that's not Dickel. Now there's one last one left. I had forgotten about it. And so I had to bring in, I have more bourbons than I realized what happened. But if you look at that new Wendy's commercial, by the way, the new Wendy's commercial with that fancy pants hamburger, if you notice carefully in the background, there's a bottle of Blanton's. I mean, there's a whole lot of liquor bottles, because you know how people go to a bar and eat Wendy's. I don't know what the purpose of that is, but look in the background, you're going to see Blanton's, but they got it blurry enough where you can't tell, because you know they didn't pay for it. But go look at that commercial. Go see Blanton's in the background, single barrel. I say, oh. Matt M says Wild Turkey 101. Yes, I like it. I had a 1983 bottle, aged 8 years. It was aged from 1975 to 83, and I loved it. And it was 101 proof. And then it's got rid of all of it. All right. Dickel 12. Should you buy it? I would say so. I would recommend it. I have no complaints. It's a little strange. I mean, I don't know how many bourbons taste like Flintstone vitamin, but and you should especially buy it if it's $12.50. I never dreamed. I just was saying, well, I'm gonna have to buy Dickel and it's $23. Oh well, I'll pay that. And then I went to Walmart like a week after thinking that thought, and I was like, I just couldn't believe it. Dickel Rye, $12.50. Dickel 12, $12.50, yellow tag. I said, whoa. And I bought. Now, my friend David told me, he said, look, let's get this straight, okay? If you ever see something like that again, he said, don't call me, don't try to text me or any of that. I could be busy at work. Just buy it. I'm going to pay you back. Don't let it go. He said, I'm giving you permission, open-ended permission to buy any deal like that you see, okay? Like the most incredible deal of all time was 2 weeks ago when I was at Mathern's, and I turned and I looked and I gasped. I couldn't believe it. What was I seeing? I said, this cannot be. Dewar's 12-year, not Dewar's White, the 3-year age, Dewar's 12. And I'm talking about a handle bottle, glass handle bottle. We're talking about 1,750 milliliter bottle. Brown bottle too, good thing, glass. And I looked at the tag and I'm thinking, like, I'm rubbing my eyes like I can't be seeing what I'm looking at. They had it for $14.99. I said, somebody screwed up. In the discount buggy, I said, what in the world am I seeing here? Well, there was no chance I wasn't going to buy that. They had 3 bottles in it. I bought it. So I tell my friend David, he just got in a panic. What? You didn't buy it? I said, well, I don't know what you want. So I went back and bought it for him because he was in a hysteria. And then he said, you should have bought 2 bottles. That's $28.99 for 2 huge bottles. I said, well, what are you going to do with it? He said, I'm drinking it. I said, okay. Now we got to close this out because the news is coming on. It tastes like Flintstones. Yeah, it says Alexander Malley, like Flintstones. Good morning, everyone, says Julie. Good morning, Jules. Alexander said, all right. You never know what you're dealing with. All right. Good morning, Ron, says John and Illy. Been trying to comment for a while, but they weren't showing up. Strange. Hey, there's been a lot of glitches on YouTube, as we've noticed, right? Like last Wednesday when it wouldn't function at all. Just don't know what it's going to do. Okay, thanks. The winner is Dickel, but not by a great margin. Thank you, everybody.